Good afternoon and welcome to my June 17th community briefing. We've been in phase 2 since June 5th, and we are continuing to see businesses reopen, people return to work, but our economy is not fully reopened yet. Phase 3 seems to be just around the corner as long as we continue to remain vigilant. On June 26th, our county will have been in phase 2 for 3 weeks, which means assuming we can meet the governor's standards, we can move to phase 3. Skagit County will be able to apply to move into phase 3, and we're one step closer to our return to normalcy. But I must say, we have seen 14 new cases in our county since June 5th. We must slow the spread. The metrics by which the state evaluates applications for COVID-19 activity, health systems readiness, testing, contact tracing, and protecting the vulnerable. We need to remain committed to all these categories in order to quickly move through the phased approach. And here in Anacortes, we're doing a great job. So let's keep up the momentum. Today is a special day for our community, our high school seniors and their families, and I'm happy to be here to share as our community celebrates the accomplishments of our high school seniors. The community parade to honor our high school seniors just took place. What a fun way to celebrate our students. I commend the seniors and their families who have shown such resiliency during this time of uncertainty. This year's exceptional group of students, including 168 Anacortes High School students and 32 Cap Sandy High School seniors graduated this year. Virtual graduation ceremonies are being streamed on the high school's YouTube channel. Cap Sandy's graduation ceremony occurred on Monday night, and Anacortes High School graduation ceremony will be this evening at 7 p.m. on the Anacortes High School YouTube channel. The Anacortes School Foundation scholarships empower and support our local grads. It has grown to provide nearly $250,000 in scholarships annually. This group of seniors has shown themselves to be unique, dynamic, and ready to face an ever-changing world. On June 10th, the AHS class of 2020 Senior Awards and Scholarship Ceremony went virtual, awarding 99 scholarships totaling $230,000. Congratulations to all our seniors who received scholarships. Looking ahead at the next school year, we know that this will be different from years past. We recently heard from the Governor Inslee and the Washington Superintendent of Public Administration, Chris Reichel, who issued a proclamation outlining the state's plan to possibly reopen schools for the fall of 2020-2021 school year. The plan follows the state's Safe Start phased approach to reopening on county-by-county basis. The plan is meant to ensure the health of all students and educators. We all want to see our students get back into the classroom to engage with their teachers and their fellow students. However, the governor indicated he must monitor health data carefully and proceed with caution. If COVID-19 cases spike or spread, the state's plan is subject to change. The 2021-20 school year will likely be split and have rotating schedules with distance learning aspects either by phases, geographic region, or by grade level. Continuous learning 2.0, which will only be used when it's not safe for any large group of students or staff to be in the school together. Face-to-face instruction is a priority as our health condition allows and educators and students are able to keep safe and healthy. The Anacortes School District, like every school district in the state, will have a contingency plan in place for continuous remote learning should they need to close at any point for a public health reason. Throughout our community, COVID-19 has had an enormous impact. these past few months. Our county's public health department and the Unified Command works daily to evaluate the status and the impact of COVID-19 in our community. As this pandemic has changed the way we live our lives, we at the city have remained determined to continue to move the city forward. Beginning June 8th, all employers are required to ensure that their employees wear a cloth facial covering, except for working alone in an office, a vehicle, or when the job has no in-person interaction. Employers must provide cloth facial covering, or employees wear their own. City staff have been wearing masks for several weeks, and we believe this safety measure is an important step as we move through phase 2. Wearing face coverings is an important way to assure customers and employees of local businesses feel safe patronizing those businesses and secure when they return to work. Many businesses have reopened, and we appreciate everyone's patience and compassion as we dial up our economy. For most city operations, phase 2 looks a lot like phase 1, with some exceptions. The senior center, the museum, library, municipal court, and city hall have remained closed to the public. The response from our employees in this unprecedented time has been remarkable. Our essential workers have been flexible, creative, dedicated, and hardworking. Our public works and municipal fiber staff, our planning department, our finance department, and so many others have continued to serve residents through online, over the phone, and in physically distanced way. Our emergency services staff continues to provide medical care to our residents in a fast, reliable, and skillful and compassionate way. Extra precautions to clean and decontaminate the ambulances and stay healthy so that these outstanding men and women can continue to serve our community. While there may be eagerness to return to normal, we must acknowledge this is a very difficult time to define or plan for. We are closely following the governor's orders and will continue to update you as we move through this phased approach. In phase 2, we have our parks trails, the Anacortes Community Forest Lands, the Washington Park Boat Launch and Loop Road, fishing at Hart Lake, and the dog park on H Avenue that are open. Athletic fields, pickleball, tennis, and basketball courts are also open with restrictions on group size. The road to the summit of Mount Erie and Washington Park Campground are open with some restrictions. The Parks Department's been working diligently to organize a reopening that is in line with the governor's Safe Start plan. In the meantime, please continue to practice physical distancing. It is necessary as we reopen our activities. Have you gotten a library book yet? The library opened for curbside pickup yesterday. Staff is working hard to fulfill your orders and keep everyone safe. Initial hours are Tuesdays through Friday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check out the library's website for details and instructions, as well as reading lists and recommendations. The book drops are also open Tuesdays and Fridays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. to allow for the required 72-hour quarantine of materials. We're looking forward to seeing our 14,000 checked out materials returned, and we're excited to get you something new to read. Summer Reading 2020 started at the library this week. Summer is always an exciting time to read books, get creative, explore, learn something new. This year's theme is Imagine Your Story, and the library's team has planned a lot of fun stories and programs for you. There will be story times, crafts, STEM activities, scavenger hunts, and more. Summer reading is for all ages, babies to adults, so library staff encourage entire families to sign up. There are bingo sheets and reading logs for 4 age groups: pre-readers, elementary school readers, teens, and adults. All the details are on the library's website, and the staff is available Monday through Friday from 11 to 4 to answer your questions on the phone. Library programs will continue online. Tune in tonight on Facebook or YouTube to learn about local rock hounding site with 2 library assistants as they search for crystals and other treasures on tonight's Together We Discover video. Tomorrow, find out how to help the city take care of animals with 2 special guest readers on Pajama Story Time. And check the library website for upcoming special events. Recently, Ruth Barefoot retired as our library director, and Jeff Vogel is now serving as interim director. Jeff has been with the library since 2007, working as a librarian and part of the management team. He has worn many hats and in recent years has specialized in the growth of our resource collections, from books to digital resources. We're happy to have an experienced leadership as our interim director during these COVID times. Thank you, Jeff Vogel. For the city, Phase 3 will include reopening of many of the city's facilities. Many of the city's facilities will look slightly different than when you last visited. There will be stickers to indicate proper physical distancing, plexiglass shields, and some new protocols for in-person services. This is to protect you and to protect our employees. We as the city organization are looking ahead and planning for Phase 3. We're eager to begin with a gradual reopening of city facilities, and there are many questions to answer. Department heads are working with me to answer these questions. In Phase 3, each department and facility will have a different level of services. In Phase 3 of the governor's plan, remote work is still highly encouraged, so there will not be a full return to pre-COVID-19 levels of services until we reach Phase 4. City Hall will see a limited reopening at the permit counter, in the finance department, and other in-service services. The library will have a limited in-person services in the building, and the Anacortes Museum will begin a limited reopening as well. We will see more reopenings of park facilities in Phase 3, as well as including playgrounds and games will begin on the ball fields. Anacortes Municipal Court will reopen to the public in Phase 3. Currently, cases are being heard at the Skagit County Community Justice Center on a limited calendar for all cities to allow for social distancing until regular court sessions resume in Anacortes. The lobby of the Anacortes Police Department will also be open when the courts open. Fingerprinting service will not resume until it can be done in a socially distanced and safe manner. The Anacortes Senior Activity Center will reopen in Phase 4. The park staff continue to work on specific guidance, and this will be created to ensure the safety of our patrons and of staff as programming resumes. As we finalize concrete plans for our in-person services, we will put them on our website and post them outside City Hall, and I will announce them at my upcoming briefings. These are unprecedented times, and we're navigating COVID-19, and we're balancing protection of our health and our duty to provide you with the best services we can. The city and the committee of the Anacortes business representatives have completed its review of applications received for small business stabilization grants. Congratulations to 15 Anacortes businesses who will be receiving the funds to jumpstart their businesses and continue to serve Anacortes. 15 grant recipients will be notified in the coming week. The city is working on draft agreements and awaiting a receipt of HUD money to distribute. Our planning department is working on a resolution to bring before City Council to adopt a guide for expanded restaurants and retail space on the sidewalks. The guide will allow merchants to use parklets in front of their businesses on Friday and Saturday nights, as they could bring their businesses, both retail and restaurants, into the streets to facilitate physical distancing for their customers and create a town plaza feel to our downtown. The city's planning director intends to bring this before the City Council on July 6th. We will continue to work with our downtown merchants to find ways to assist in our community's economic recovery. The city continues its important work even in the midst of its public health crisis. In the last few months, the museum staff has participated in the discussions about some of our community monuments. Anacortes Museum staff and Museum Advisory Board plan to collaborate with local stakeholders on stewardship projects connected with Anacortes Memorials. Discussions include research assistance related to the planned Anacortes High School Student Memorial, the centennial planning for the Cosland Park in coordination with the city's Parks Department, and coordination efforts with the Port of Anacortes for the monument at Seafarers Memorial Park. Stewardship of these important memorials would benefit from consistent historical focus, staff support, opportunities to assess community need, and focus on the mission of the Anacortes Museum. The Anacortes Museum website is now a website dedicated to the memorials in Anacortes, and the staff look to continue efforts to honor those named at these community monuments. The city continues to keep contact with our partners at the State Department of Ecology and remain committed to the stewardship of the Anacortes community forest lands. The Washington State Department of Ecology notified the city in January that they were revoking determination of no further action required for the Avenue Landfill site. The city was fully cooperating in all cleanup and maintenance and reporting activities. We are working diligently to ensure any newly determined cleanup actions are carried out completely. We are working closely with the Washington State Department of Ecology to ensure all requirements are met. We are so privileged to have the Anacortes Community Forest Lands with a beautiful forest and abundance of recreational opportunities. We work year-round to care for this important resource by maintaining our trails, providing recreational opportunities, and enhancing habitat. We recognize the importance of caring for its important environmental and recreational area with our community partners. And the city remains steadfast in its commitment to preserving the Anacortes Community Forest Lands for generations to come. In the Finance Department, the majority of the staff have continued to work remotely during Phase 2. However, we will continue to offer all services. On the City Finance Department's website, you can sign up for business and dogs licensing, sign up for utility billing, auto pay, or make one-time payment. You can also call our utility billing directly at 360-293-1909 for utility-related questions or to get signed up for auto pay. As we look forward to the next budget cycle, the Finance Department will start working with other departments in updating the capital facilities plan to identify the next 6 years of capital needs. The first 2 years, which will flow into the city's biennial budget. The next biennial budget, which is for the fiscal year 2021 and 2022, is in its early stages of development. This is a great deal of uncertainty in our economy, and we need more data to use to develop some of our revenue projections to build on our city's budget. Next week, the city will be receiving a detailed sales tax information from the State Department of Revenue, which will reflect the retail sales activity for the month of April, the first full month of the stay-at-home order. The city's finance director will brief me and the City Council in coming weeks on the impact of that information, which will be instrumental in providing the basis to create our new budget. Across the county, COVID-19 has deeply affected our workforce. Skagit County's unemployment rate increased from 5.2% in March of 2020 to 19.1% in April of 2020, representing the third highest unemployment in the state. The Board of Skagit County Commissioners is allocating $1 million in federal CARES Act funding to be used for small business grant program and associated administrative costs. The county is working to develop and implement a small business grant program. This plan will be put into motion this plan was put into motion just last week on June 8th. We expect to hear more information on what businesses qualify so small business owners in Anacortes can determine if they might be able to benefit from this additional grant opportunity. The Anacortes Family Center is a keystone community organization in Anacortes, and I wanted to give an update on the tireless work they have been doing behind the scenes in COVID-19. The AFC has remained at 100% occupancy during these COVID times. Most other shelters, due to social distancing requirements and staffing limitations, have been forced to operate at about 50%. Thanks to the AFC's alliance with the Anacortes employers, AFC has been successful in reemploying nearly all clients who lost their jobs during the COVID-related layoffs. Through an emergency grant from Skagit County and a grant from the Skagit Community Foundation, AFC hired 3 residents from their affordable apartment complex that were laid off from their hospitality cleaning positions. These residents perform extensive sanitation of the AFC's common areas 7 days a week. Through the same grant, AFC was able to expand Wi-Fi to the nearly 50 school-aged children living at AFC's campus so they could complete their schoolwork, and as well as adults who needed to complete job applications and search for housing. Thanks to this community's generosity, the AFC created a rent relief fund for clients living in affordable housing complex, Launch Apartments. So far, over 20 rent relief requests have been granted. In partnership with Skagit Valley College, the AFC will help facilitate 1 college credit to clients who attend at least 12 weekly life skill programs such as financial literacy, landlord-tenant law, and parenting after trauma. Skagit Valley College staff will host a life skills class quarterly to discuss enrollment in financial aid with a goal to give every AFC client an opportunity to receive higher education. The Anacortes Family Center has been an excellent sponsor and support system for our clients during this very difficult times. Thank you to Dustin Johnson and the board and the staff and the generous people in the community who donate to this important community organization. Over the past 3 months, they have created innovative programs, supported our most vulnerable, and provided opportunities for those in need. The Anacortes Family Center is fueled by generosity and compassion in this community, and we thank them for their outstanding work that they do. The United States and Canada both reached an agreement in March to temporarily close our border to non-essential travel, eliminating any recreational visits. It has recently been announced non-essential travel will continue to be prohibited until July 21st. Commercial traffic and essential workers who cross the border for work have continued. Some immediate family members separated by COVID travel restrictions can also cross the border. The Washington State Ferry System Summer Ferry Vehicle Reservations System is now available. Recently announced that the current reduced ferry schedule will continue until further notice. Customers can now reserve their spot online for June 21st through September 26th on the Anacortes San Juan runs and the Port Townsend Coupeville routes. Island Hospital has tested 1,621 people and currently has reported 31 positive cases in our community. The total positive hospitalized cases is 7, and there have been no deaths in our town. Globally, there are 7.8 million, and the total deaths worldwide are near 431,000. 1,221 people have died in Washington State from COVID-19. The numbers of families, friends, and neighbors who have lost someone is devastating. Please remain vigilant, wear your mask, and stay physically distanced from each other and wash your hands regularly. COVID-19 testing is continuing to happen at Skagit Valley College Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We have confidence on our testing capabilities and our county's robust contact tracing and testing. We are prepared to track and control any outbreak or surges in cases in the county. Currently, there are 463 confirmed cases, 15 deaths, and there have been 54 hospitalizations. With the coordinated partnership between the local health officers, the local board of health, our local hospitals, the county commissioners, and your local mayors and the community, we have raised to the challenge of defeating COVID-19 and protecting the safety of our communities. Well, now we're at the question and answers, and I only got one question this week. So the question is, my license is going to expire. The DOL is not open. What should I do? Driver licenses offices will reopen by appointment only in a series of stages beginning Monday, June 22nd. Appointments are for customers who cannot be helped online, by phone, or mail. The first stage of reopening includes our Bellingham, Bremerton, Clarkston, Federal Way, Kennewick, Lacey, Linwood, Moses Lake, Parkland, Renton, Spokane, Union Gap, Vancouver North, and Wenatchee locations. If your license expired between April 3rd and July 3rd, your license has automatically been extended by 90 days due to these closures. So as we have transitioned into phase 2, we're excited, and we have focused on reopening our economy. I've seen downtown businesses open up, happy customers venturing out safely, and businesses navigating and serving their customers and keeping their employees and their customers safe. We're a couple weeks away from phase 3, where we will be one step closer to our normal interactions in our community and our businesses. As of yesterday, 6 counties in the state were still in phase 1. 23 counties are in phase 2, and 10 counties are presently in phase 3. There has been COVID illnesses for some, death for a few. We did the work, and we have kept the majority of us safe. We've stayed home, we've cooked family meals again, we've planted our gardens, we've homeschooled, and we took care of our neighbors. And just as we are accepting and navigating COVID-19, the nation, perhaps for the first time, is waking up to the reality of overt and systemic racism. Individuals and communities are struggling with how to move forward to a better future. Anacortes is committed to building a place free of racism and discrimination. There is no place in our community for this. At the city, we are committed to equip every employee with the tools to have difficult conversations, support each other as we face the unique challenges in our work. In our community, we have residents who come from diverse backgrounds, from different cities from across the country and places around the world. We all have different life experiences when it comes to racism and discrimination. A good first step is to seek to understand. the experience of someone who has lived with that burden every day of their lives. I am committed, and I want to commend all citizens of this community for being involved and reaching out. I've been in dialogue with our citizens and concerned residents who want to have their experiences shared. These are raw and difficult times, and we are Anacortes, and we are resilient, and we are listening, and we are caring hearts. And we will continue to flatten the COVID-19 curve, and we will strengthen our inclusion for all in Anacortes. Thank you so much. And I finally want to just congratulate our seniors today and wish them the best in their next chapter of their lives. I know these young people will make a difference in our community and the world. Thank you all for being with me today.